Known as the hardest working actor in Hollywood, Eric Roberts has had a career like no other. Starring in more than 400 films and TV shows ever since he entered the world of entertainment in 1978, Roberts has managed to play some of the most memorable roles in film history. In this video, we're taking a look at the top 10 Eric Roberts movies of all time.
Ow.
Number 10, The Coca-Cola Kid.
What the hell is going on?
One of the greatest oddball comedies of all time, The Coca-Cola Kid features Eric Roberts in his prime, playing the role of Becker, an expert marketing executive working for the Coca-Cola Company. The movie kicks off when Becker realizes that the people in the fictional town of Anderson Valley aren't responding well to Coke, and the reason is a local soda vendor who seems to have taken over the market. What ensues is a funny ordeal that pays homage to the legacy of Coke. And while the movie didn't smash any box office records, it managed to enter the 1985 Cannes Film Festival and is now remembered as a cult classic in the actor's filmography. Number 9, The Ambulance.
I heard her tell the ambulance attendant that she was diabetic, if that's any help.
Do you mind?
Nobody approaches comedy the way Eric Roberts does. The Ambulance is a memorable comedy thriller that will send you on a wild journey along with Roberts' character, comic book artist Josh. The premise of the movie revolves around Josh meeting a girl called Cheryl and falling in love with her at first sight. However, he soon has to call an ambulance for the girl after she collapses in the street because of her diabetes. Josh follows the ambulance all the way to the hospital, but when she gets there, he finds out that there is no record of a person named Cheryl or the ambulance she was in. With nobody believing his story, Josh is left all alone to solve this mystery all on his own. Directed by Larry Cohen, the film takes unexpected turns, with Roberts' touching performance and effortless charm being worth it till the very end.
I want some spare change.
Number 8, King of the Gypsies.
Because the faster you go, the easier it is.
Whoa.
Good.
The very film that launched Eric Roberts as an actor, King of the Gypsies, combines great acting, an easy-to-follow plot, and brilliant direction. Following a group of modern-day gypsies living in New York, the film revolves around a community with their own language, their own rules, and their own chosen leader, Dave, played by Roberts, the grandson of the tribe's former ruler, King Jarko. In an extremely convincing debut performance, Roberts' performance in the film was gritty and realistic, earning him a Golden Globe nomination for the Best Debut Actor in 1979.
Rose, you tell her to come with me. Rose!
Number 7, Nature of the Beast.
I'll tell on you, Jack. I'll tell everybody what you got in that briefcase.
In this mystery horror thriller, Eric Roberts plays the role of a drifter named Adrian who comes across a man named Jack, played by Lance Henriksen, who offers to give him a ride. However, as the two start traveling together, Adrian begins hinting at the fact that he knows a secret that Jack has been hiding. At the same time, a ruthless killer named the Hatchet Man seems to be striking everywhere Adrian and Jack go, leading us on a wild goose chase as we try to figure out the mystery behind Adrian, Jack, and the Hatchet Man. The film is eerie and unnerving enough to keep you guessing till the very end. Roberts and Henriksen complement each other in their intense portrayals of the two primary characters of the film, making the nature of the beast worth every minute of its runtime.
I want you to know, Jack, I am one dangerous, crazy motherfucker.
Number 6, Best of the Best.
Don't talk to me about rules, Coach. My kid might lose his leg.
Martial arts movies are pretty hard to do well, but Best of the Best is considered to be a cinematic masterpiece, telling the story of an American martial arts team determined to take down South Korean martial artists in a tournament. With heartfelt performances and some pretty killer stunts, this film is a visual treat for martial arts enthusiasts, featuring several subplots to keep you hooked till the very end. The film features Roberts as Alex Grady, a retired martial artist who has the chance to represent his country against Korea. Alongside other recognized actors such as James Earl Jones, Roberts delivers a power-packed performance with his martial arts sequences, especially as someone who isn't trained in the sport.
Why didn't you ever tell me this?
It wasn't your problem.
That's bullshit, man.
Number 5, The Pope of Greenwich Village.
Careful on that double or nothing, Charlie. You lose your ass on that bet.
If you want a film that gives you a fix of drama, crime, thriller, and comedy all at once, The Pope of Greenwich Village definitely has to be on your watch list. Featuring a young Eric Roberts as Paulie, who, along with his cousin Charlie, played by Mickey Rourke, plans to rob a merchant in the neighborhood where they work. However, things go terribly wrong when their plan results in the death of a police officer and attracts a mafia boss who is now after the two cousins. With a fast-paced plot and the hilarious situations that Paulie and Charlie get themselves into, this film features hilarious performances by Roberts and Rourke. With Roberts' incredibly witty portrayal of a dim-witted, wannabe hustler, this film has gone down as a cult classic in the history of American cinema.
The fucking lottery, Charlie! What do you mean, fucking lottery? Charlie, there's a dead cop down there. What are you talking about?
Number 4. Star 80.
I have something sweet, soft, and white. You.
Based on a true story, Star 80 has been one of the most powerful films that Roberts has ever starred in, and that too in the very early days of his career. Based on a Pulitzer Prize-winning article, in this movie, the actor plays the role of Paul Snider, who meets Dorothy Stratton, played by Mariel Hemingway, and helps her climb to the top as a Playboy playmate with him as her manager. While the two fall in love in the process, Paul eventually grows more and more jealous of Dorothy's success. With the brilliant chemistry of the film's protagonists, every scene in Star 80 will leave you stunned. And while the film primarily stars Dorothy, ultimately, Roberts ends up making the film his very own with his real, almost disturbing portrayal of a husband driven to madness out of pure jealousy. Throughout the film, we follow Dorothy's story, but in hindsight, we are always watching Snider being undone with every success that comes her way, portraying the very real complexity of the human mind. Even in its final moments, the film never fails to surprise you with its twists and turns, making this a movie that you will not forget once you watch it. While the film wasn't a smash hit on the box office, Roberts' brilliant performance and the true story behind the film is what has helped Star 80 emerge as a timeless cinematic masterpiece.
Wait, you mean maybe I'll grow up to be a big movie director? Or own a big magazine? Is that what you mean?
Number 3. Raggedy Man.
Want any more sense than a rock?
Ow, good.
Sorry.
Set during the time of World War II, Raggedy Man tells the story of a divorced single mom, played by Sissy Spacek, working as a telephone operator during the war. In what is now called his best performance ever, Eric Roberts plays the role of Teddy, a sailor who becomes Spacek's character's light in the dark. With a solid script and brilliant dialogue, Raggedy Man will transport you back in time to tell you a believable, realistic story. The film is a breath of fresh air in terms of the small-town life it depicts, with Roberts and Spacek fitting right into the role of their simple characters as their simple romance blooms gently, along with the other events that unfold within the film. Roberts, who is usually an actor all about action, shows his gentler side with the role of Teddy as he deals not only with a divorced mom, but also her children, which helped him establish his diversity in terms of his performance range in this masterpiece of a film.
Hello, Mr. Quinn. This is Teddy. I'm calling from Texas.
Number 2. It's My Party.
What do dildos and soybeans have in common?
What?
They're both meat substitutes.
The first mainstream American feature film to address a topic as important as AIDS, Roberts definitely outdoes himself with his portrayal of Nick, a man who has been fighting the disease for 3 years and is now making sure that he dies in the way that people remember. At a party that Nick throws to say goodbye to his friends, things become complicated and emotions are unraveled. With every guest that enters the party, we learn more about our main character, each story reminding us that members of the LGBTQ community deserve respect and love in life and in death. Despite the film's overall sad undertone, Roberts still manages to bring on the cheer as he interacts with his loved ones for what seems to be the last time ever. Featuring moments of humor, sarcasm, and genuine sentiment, It's My Party is a definite tearjerker no matter when you watch it. While the film wasn't a huge hit on the box office, it was one of Roberts' career-defining roles, helping him represent a community that has previously always been marginalized in the film world.
Excuse me, your car is blocking my side of the drive, so either move it or I'll have it towed.
Our number 1 pick is Runaway Train.
Hey, Manny, you don't treat me like a punk, okay?
You don't like it?
No.
With a budget of $9 million back in the 80s, Runaway Train was in a league of its own. Featuring Roberts as a convict named Buck, who escapes prison with the help of another fellow convict, Manny, played by Jon Voight. However, Manny is ready to do anything to survive, and that means Buck really isn't safe at all. Trouble finds the two when they end up on the wrong train. Not just that, but when the train driver suffers a heart attack, Manny and Buck have to take over the train that's now racing out of control, bound to go off the tracks any time. This fast-paced film will have you on the edge of your seat, and while on the surface, it may look like a regular old action film, the truth is that it's so much more. With Roberts and Voight's on-screen partnership, the two complement each other, and Roberts, in particular, manages to create a character that you just can't help but love. Featuring some pretty cool action sequences, especially inside the train, the film basically runs on the constant banter between Voight's intelligent character and Robert's slow-witted, wild man persona. With a brilliant premise and memorable acting, the film went on to enter the 1986 Cannes Film Festival and currently has a rating of 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb.com, making this a must-watch for anyone who loves a classic action thriller.
We're on our way to Las Vegas to see our close and personal friend, Wayne New. Why?
Do you agree with our list? Be sure to comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be the first to receive new Top 10 videos from Stream TV.